Welcome everyone in internet land. This is a playthrough of Factorio, version 12.20. This was started in the last week of January of 2016. We are starting a map, starting a playthrough, and we're going to go back and show you that this is a vanilla game. There are no modifications to this. And we're going to show you the settings. This is going to be a map that hopefully will have a lot of water in it. The terrain segmentation has been set to very low so that there is not very much, if there's going to be grass, you're going to see a lot of grass. If you're going to be in a desert, you're going to have a lot of deserts. We'll also have a very low frequency of iron ore, very small deposits of ore, but very rich deposits. This is going to hopefully result in a game where I'm going to have to hop from spot to spot and build a bunch of mining drills all over the place just to bring in a slow, steady stream of resources in. The enemy bases are going to be normal, they're going to be medium, they're going to be regular. This is standard. Standard enemy bases, standard starting area. So even though there's going to be some really dense, beautiful pockets of resources, we're going to have to fight through a fair amount to get there. And let's see what happens when we generate a map. Okay, I see deserts. I see lakes. Okay, this is good. It's a fair amount of water. A lot of space to build some walls. Little choke points immediately to this left of us here. And some iron ore. Okay, looks like we can get started on that. We'll set down our burning drill. We'll get some wood so we can start the drill. And tamp on over. I do apologize for the lack of game sound. I'm still new to recording Let's Plays. I thought I had recorded the game sound on this, but it turns out that is not the case. I'm going to try to overlay it with some game music perhaps in the background, and hopefully that'll kind of sort of cover for it. Anyway, the coal is good to go. Let's go ahead and run around and try to find some more resources. Tramp, 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 tramp. Okay, down there we see some stone. And for any of you who have not played this game before, the early stages of the game are always to find resource deposits. You really need to find iron, you really need to find copper, you really need to find stone, and you need coal. Those are your four basic building blocks to make a workable base. And I'm seeing a lot more water than I had thought before. Okay, peninsula, probably just set on one side of that. And when the coders made this game, there is a very good chance of there being island maps. And unfortunately, it looks like that this is one. In order to win the game, you need to have an enemy base, multiple enemy bases to destroy to get their resources. And I am circling around now just to verify that that lower left corner does not lead to a different landmass. Because if it's not the case, then this is a dead map. This is unplayable. This is unwinnable. Yep. Unwinnable. Alright, let's try again. Okay, we have now grassland. Grassland with wood. Wood is good for soaking up some pollution here. And we could probably mine some copper. Let's verify that this very small landmass is not in fact an island. It's an island, isn't it? Yeah. Well, the good news is every time that we restart a game, it takes the same kind of variables and plugs them in. Maybe this one will work. I am seeing a lot more landmass. That's good. This is going to be a definite decider for us that yes, we have enemies. That little red spot in the minimap there I'm pointing to, that's an enemy encampment. This is a major positive. This is not an island map. This is playable. This is winnable. And there is not a lot of water. I specifically said to have a lot of water. Maybe it's a terrain segmentation thing, I don't know. We passed by a deposit for iron back there for a second. And now our current object is to find all four major resources, the coal and the copper and the stone and the iron. And when we get all those four, we can get ourselves a workable base. So we can go ahead and begin playing through this thing, this challenge that was supposed to be a water world, but seems to not be a water world. Okay, there's a lot more iron down there. That's a positive. So no, we have a decent deposit we can draw off of. Not much in the way of copper, though. We'll find copper later in the playthrough, but it does appear to be not surrounded by enemies, so this is something we could probably be able to mine in the not-so-distant future. Probably about after another 3-4 hours of game time in. Oh yeah, games like these, they go for a while. I will be speeding up future episodes of these games, probably to double time at first, maybe to quadruple time. Uh, I haven't really figured out how to uh, do triple time yet without accidentally desyncing the audio. Again, I'm new at making Let's Plays and recording them. Thus why you have no game sound. You only have the sound of my voice right now. Okay, copper deposit. Excellent. Okay, so we can work with that. Um, Still no iron. Sorry, not iron. Coal. Still no coal. We'll see that as black on the minimap whenever it shows up. That little purple dot we passed by the way, that is oil. Um, Small deposit. It looks like there's one, maybe two to draw from. Not much, but it's better than having absolutely no coal. Hmm. I kind of don't want to restart this because there is a lot of wood to draw from. And I wonder how interesting it would be to try to run a base on nothing but wood until we get to a hard stopping point. Coal is absolutely required to craft um, mid-game items, mostly uh, plastics. Plastic gets turned into red circuits. Those get used for mid-game items. Uh, if we don't ever find coal, this is going to be another dead-in-the-water game. But I am actually curious enough about this to see how well I can build from scratch a beginning base with no coal. So maybe this won't be Waterworld. Maybe this will just be WoodWorld for a while? Doesn't really have a good ring to it, WoodWorld. Um, but as we trudge along, scanning more of the map, hopefully trying to find that dang coal. Spoiler alerts, I do not find coal in this section, but we're going to go ahead and make a go for it either way. We're going to find a place to set up a base. I'll talk you through the beginning of the base building. Um, Normally this would be using coal, but instead we will use wood as our base fuel.